What's up, YouTube? Flan Speaks. Listen, I'd be lying, man, to you guys if I told you that I wasn't concerned about the Tennessee Titans game. Um, but let me put it to you like this, man. Philadelphia Eagles on paper are definitely better than the Tennessee Titans. The way they played this year, obviously played better than everyone, really. So the Eagles are the better team. But there's a couple things about this game. Tennessee's coming off a really disappointing loss to the Bengals, who they just can't seem to beat, can't seem to get past. And the Eagles, as you know, just coming off of a win. That's typically, what we do against Green Bay. Just push the Eagles on a high, puts Tennessee on a low, but very much in the state of hunger now. Tennessee has to come to Philadelphia. Okay, has to come to Philadelphia. So that we get an advantage. However, Tennessee is coming to run the ball. They're coming to run the ball. My concern is with my defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon is not a good defensive coordinator. I don't care how many people try to justify it. I don't care how many people try to deflect from the points that his detractors make and try to talk about, well, we only give up X amount of points. I don't care how many people try to do that. This guy, if you really study tape, you study all 22s, you even go to logic, he's not good, okay? My concern, he typically is the product or the beneficiary of having a tremendous amount of talent around him. Let's keep it real. Last season, he wasn't great. Okay, gave up way too many yards. Competent quarterbacks were throwing at an 80% percentage clip, and we know why. It's because he likes to play a type of shell defense where he lays off and he allows completion. I guess the idea is to bank on the team making a mistake, and that can work well against the lower echelon teams in the league. However, when you play against a high efficiency team, high efficiency offense that does not make mistakes, with a smart quarterback who makes sound decisions, he doesn't and he will not do well. Okay, he just won't. Something also disturbed me in Nick Sirianni's press conference this week, where a reporter asked him about the Bengals game and the Bengals' ability to hold Derrick Henry to 38 yards on 17 carries. And they said, will you look to implement some of the things that Bengals do? And this is because this is what teams in the NFL do. They study the weaknesses of the opponent, and that comes through looking at the film of previous games. And you look at especially those losses and what people did to effectively stop them. And Nick Sirianni said basically that, they won't implement what the Bengals did because they don't have the same players the Bengals have. I was so disturbed by that statement that I'm starting to reconsider who may win this game. If you saw last week and the week before two teams stopped Derrick Henry, and you're telling me you're not going to implement the same strategy they used to stop Derrick Henry, I now have to question your intellect, not only as a coach, but just as a human being. Why in the world would you not immediately use the strategies that the teams used before and using as this excuse that you don't have those players? Are you telling me that you believe the Cincinnati Bengals players are better than the Philadelphia Eagles players? Is that what you're saying to me? Because now that sounds a lot like the bullshit they were talking last year. Every excuse for Jonathan Gannon was he doesn't have the players. No, he would blitz more. He doesn't have good blitzers. No, he would press more. He doesn't have press players. Now, nigga, you got two press corners You got fast linebackers that are capable of blitzing. You have safeties that are capable of blitzing. You still don't do it, which tells us that's just not the way he plays. His system comes from the system that the um, Zimmer from Minnesota implemented. The Colts basically took and mimicked that same or implemented that same system because Minnesota had a high ranking defense around 2016, 2017, around that era at that time. So it became popular for someone from their staff and those guys to go over to Indianapolis, okay? And because Frank Reich was in Indianapolis, we started getting Indianapolis guys. I mean, why, I don't know. I don't have a problem with Nick Sirianni, but the Jonathan Gannon's implementing that particular defense. That is not a championship winning defense. The Minnesota Vikings did not win a Super Bowl with their style of defense. I don't get why you would even get someone from there. And even if Jeffrey Lurie, for example, received all these raving reviews about Jonathan Gannon, that's fine. But now you've seen him. You've seen him last season go into Tampa Bay and just basically allow Tom Brady to shred him. And then use as an excuse, well, I don't have the players, and well, that's Tom Brady. Okay, that's fine, but this Tom Brady and that Tampa offense is the same offense that pitched a goose egg against the damn Saints. And even in that, he says, okay, the Saints players. So really, it has nothing to do with the coordinator. It's all about players then. If that's what you're saying. If Jonathan Gannon wasn't good last year because of his players, and now you're saying you can't implement what works against Tennessee because of players, then what the hell's the purpose of a defensive coordinator? This idea that he'll get creative if he had more players. No, when you have less players, that's when you need to be more creative. When you have better players, because shit, I could coach a defense if I have Reggie White, Warren Sapp, Aaron Donald, Deion Sanders, and freaking Lawrence Taylor. If I got those guys, I don't have to do anything. I just let them go out there and just stop the offense. Okay? Now, if you need all of those guys, how good are you? What do you actually bring to the table? Because those guys they're on autopilot. They're on automatic. They're going to get it done because that's what they are, the Hall of Famers. All right, so I'm very much concerned about this game against Tennessee. And I don't know what the point spread is, but if it's anywhere near 6 points or something like that, you should go with Tennessee. I don't know that Tennessee wins the game because I think at the end of the day, I think my quarterback, Jalen Hurts, is just the type who's going to do what it takes to win the game. He might get in one of those moves. He's not going to let the team lose. I don't know. But I'm very, very much concerned about this game. If you're not going to implement what the Bengals did to stop Henry, then what are you going to do? I'm going to rely on some shit Jonathan Gannon comes up with? Please, man. Look, man, that's all I got, guys, man. Listen, if you like this here content, man, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, man. Let me know what's going on, help this thing. But we got more coming, man. And I don't know, man. I'll catch you guys later, man. Peace.